This time on Video Game Tango, we've got Greyhill Incident, Into the Breach, Endling, Soulframe, Rumbleverse, Marvel's SpiderMan Remastered, a new FPS by John Romero, Activision Blizzard news, Unity news, and more.
Hey, listen. Do not pre-order games. Also, my name is Nick.
Hi, I'm Josh, and I'm excited about web slinging and Peter tingling.
Shy surprise? My name's Andy. This is Video Game Tango.
Energy.
Power.
Sluts. I wasn't ready for that.
Oh, okay.
You said you wanted energy this week.
Listen, dude. Yeah.
Speed.
With our
Speed and
powers
power.
combined,
Bath salts.
we are
Oh,
roughly
dude, that'll give you energy and power.
81% of a
Have
normal
you
human.
ever wanted the power to eat a face? To feel that face energy? Bath salts.
Dude, you know what gives me energy? New fucking games.
Ooh.
Let's talk about it. Starting with Greyhill Incident. I'm gonna put it up on screen. Look at this.
It's an awful name, by the way.
There was an incident.
Look at this.
It was at Greyhill.
Twas. So, Greyhill Incident. This atmospheric survival horror game is about a classic alien invasion story, which is taking place in an outlying village during the early 90s. Outlast the invasion as an average guy and collaborate with other neighbors. Sneak, run, or fight, but use your ammo and baseball bat with caution. So, this game,
Yes.
to me, looks like Signs, the video game.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's exactly. I almost said swing for the fences,
Right.
Andy. Swing for the fences.
So not only that, but if you were to watch the trailer, which you can find the link at videogametango.com/blog,
they got a flirkin.
there's even like Signs sounds, like the clicking sounds the aliens made in Signs. You can hear that over the radio. It's a callback to a scene in Signs, and it looks fucking fantastic. Just the right amount of like fucking terrifying but also campy.
I was gonna say, dude, this is a perfect blend of camp and creep.
Yeah,
You
right?
know.
Yeah.
I'm liking the look of it so far.
I really like the look of this.
Yeah. So really looking forward to this. Unfortunately, we're not going to be getting it until spring of 2023, but
It's not that far away.
it's
I
not
mean,
that
it's
far
not
out,
that
and
far
there might
away.
be early access coming. So we'll see.
Now, I wonder how interactive the environment is going to be.
You do get probed. You can just ask it outright.
What?
I said you can just ask it outright. You do get probed.
Oh. Well, I mean, I know we're all looking forward to that, but I noticed there's some vehicles, there's houses, look like a fucking tree house. Can I hide in the tree house and drop down on that gray? Like, I mean, I don't know. But I see a lot of cool things in the environment, and I hope I can interact with it a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
This looks like this is by Refugium Games. Looks like
Yes.
it's their first game.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks pretty good for an opener, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the graphics look solid, but it should be playable on most machines. The creep factor is there. Game looks really dark, like it takes place almost solely at night, I assume. We've even got a guy who seems to be like a quest giver. If you check out the trailer, wearing a tinfoil hat, looks like he's was on the up and up about the alien uprising.
So
and
keep the voices out, bro.
yeah, absolutely. You can't have them scanning your brains. So I'm a big fan of the phasmophobias, the stuff that's like multiplayer and has a big creep factor. So this one speaks to me, and it looks creepy as shit. But also, with like the UFOs that were landing and picking up cows and that kind of thing, also seems to have a level of camp factor, like early 90s.
Well, I mean,
alien
it
stuff.
had that classic. I mean, sure, I think the game's taking place in the 90s, but it had that classic 50s UFO kind of feel
Yeah.
to it too. Like,
For sure, yeah. Standard UFOs,
Right,
tractor beams,
but
and grays.
Seeing the cow get pulled up in the background of that, that's a pretty cool little scene there, honestly.
If Mr. John Refugium himself happens to hear this, maybe work on the aliens attack animation a little bit.
Yeah, maybe
in
a little
that trailer, it literally just walked up to you.
Yeah, they still have till spring 2023. Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe
you got 6 months.
maybe they just need to be close enough to grapple your mind with theirs.
Yeah,
I want to see a little.
Maybe
more,
at least make
I wanna
them, like,
see a little more polish on that.
hold
Gray.
their hands out a bit. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
They were just
No, you're right. You're right.
power stroll.
Yeah, fresh stepping
They're
for
fresh
sure.
stepping.
Yeah, fresh stepping grays, dude. Yeah. Nick, you have a new game to talk about.
I do. I just noticed it today. I think, yeah, this is new to me. Warframe, who is made by John Warframe of Warframe fame. They recently had TennoCon, their Warframe convention, and they showed off a trailer for Soulframe. Great naming inspiration there. What this amounts to, it's a cinematic trailer, but it seems like they're making a fantasy-esque version of Warframe, which is much more up my alley than Space Ninjas was. I almost bit the bullet a few times and played Warframe. My brother played it a lot. It is a grind heavy game. So I'm not sure exactly what to expect from this, other than the developers of Warframe have put in 190,000% into their game, and they've spent the last handful of years just gruelingly making it better and better and better. At least from someone, that's Adam's opinion, who's played the game to death. So for them to have a fresh start in a new setting with new code, not working with old legacy stuff, this could be something really, really, really cool. I think what caught me the most, and it triggered a whole just cascade of thoughts in my head, is this evolution of this kind of mixture of Western and Eastern aesthetics, Western mythology with, I mean, Warframe's absolutely gorgeous when it comes to the idea of what does very far-flung future space tech look like.
Yes.
You know, it's very iconic. I see Warframe stuff, you know it's Warframe. And they're like unabashedly unapologetic about it. Unapologetic. And I don't blame them at all. So Soulframe has a cinematic trailer up.
That moose is eating him.
No, it's give him a Uber ride. It's a very interesting trailer. Like I said, Warframe has a very weird aesthetic if you're not familiar with it. But it's very cool. No gameplay yet, no real news, just that this is coming out. So fingers crossed that they do something really cool with it.
I mean, the trailer so far is excellent. And the fact that it's made by the people that make Warframe is a good sign to me, because it's a game that they haven't been scared to change and iterate on, and you know, like even as far as the combat goes, there was an entire this was years ago now, but they weren't satisfied with the combat. They didn't think the player engagement was enough, and so they totally redid their combat system between the first time I played and the second time that I tried playing Warframe. Warframe for me personally isn't like totally my jam, but it's a gorgeous game. There's a lot of care and attention to detail.
Warframe is an MMO. Let's just boldface put it how it is. It's not the kind of MMO that you immediately recognize as one, but that is what it is. It's a lightning fast action RPG MMO with a lot of grind. And it's essentially the story of Destiny with the same setup. It kind of started off rocky, but as opposed to where Destiny just kind of shit the bed over and over and everyone's got Stockholm syndrome about it and keeps playing it because they can't not, Warframe's actually gotten good. You know, it took them a while to get there. Definitely a lot of Dark Souls or Elder Scrolls influence, at least that kind of vague in limbo fantasy feel, but it's still got its definite Warframe aesthetics there. So I'm interested to see where this one goes. Yeah, I just play like.
I appreciate a studio that's not afraid to try new things. And we were off air last week, right after the podcast, we were talking about Dan Trachtenberg, because we were talking about the Cloverfield movies and Cloverfield Lane, and how Dan Trachtenberg directed arguably the best episode of Black Mirror, Cloverfield Lane, and a couple other really neat things, and including some other music videos. But he's also working on the next expansion for Warframe. So he's essentially, like, as far as their cinematics go and their story goes, he's directing that, which is really cool because that guy's smart. He's huge into video games. Like, he understands video games.
Yeah, he clearly knows his way around a story.
Well, he used to do a video game podcast, you know, so he really knows what he's doing. And you see the influence video games have had on him in his direction.
Honestly, I see a huge influence on this art and this stuff. You know, I'm taking a stab in the dark. That might not be the case. But if a player in my D&D game came up to me and said, okay, my character starts off naked in a tower and he's killed by a woman telling him to not remember or forget his family. He wakes up and is saved by a moose druid and then uses a sword to petrify automata that have captured a dire wolf and are signaling for pickup. You know, like, this is metal as shit. This is like LSD, you know, Into the Odd, Weird and Wild, OSR, kind of like weird 80s fantasy stuff. Very almost pulpy sword and sorcery. And I love that. So very, very cool.
It looks really good.
You know, I really liked the aesthetics of it. How the game itself looked. It looked really pretty. There's a few scenes where he's standing there in the fog. A couple of the, I don't know if that's gameplay or if it's all cinematics.
It might be in engine, but it's not gameplay.
I mean, it looks like it's going to be a fun action game, and it doesn't seem to be leaning to where the JPRs lose me is when it gets. I mean.
That's Warframe for sure. So I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being like that, but we'll see.
But it looks pretty cool so far.
Yeah. Josh, you had a video game you wanted to talk about.
I did. Now, since Sarah isn't here, I'm gonna horn in on her comfy, cozy corner that she generally likes to take up there. But I'm bringing it in with a twist. Oh, look at the cute little fox puppy.
I'm sorry. Real quick, I was trying to combine comfy and cozy in my head, and I came up with cumsy. And that's not the right word at all.
Nope, we don't want cumsy games.
No, it's not. So my offering is Endling. Extinction is Forever. Now, you're going to start off as a mama fox. And
who dies?
Nope.
Extinct forever.
The point of the game is to make sure Mama and her cubs make it to safety. So a lot of this game, you're going to be avoiding predators. You're going to be avoiding hunters that want you for your fox fur. But it's a man-made apocalypse. The art is incredible. So you gotta avoid the murky water, moving around. It's from Hero Beat Studios is the dev there, and you can find it on Steam, Nintendo, PSN, or the PlayStation Network rather, and Xbox, all that good stuff. $29.99 is its introductory price, but it's a bit like a puzzle survival game. You got to figure out how to scavenge and get food for your cubs. You got to figure out ways around the terrain. Some of it's going to be natural, some of it's going to be urban, but it looks like a really fun, cute little game. With dire consequences, of course.
Yeah, I saw one review of it that basically said it's an absolutely gorgeous, cute game that will make you bawl your eyes out. So just a minor warning
so
there.
Exactly. The game very much puts the situation of these are the last foxes on your shoulders, right? Like you gotta get them to safety or they're gone. So I mean, yeah. Comfy cozy with a twist.
Comfy cozy cumsy. No, yeah, it looks really polished. I really like the art style. It's kind of like you brought it up earlier. It's looking cell shaded. I like cell shaded light. Mm-hmm. So I do like the aesthetic of it. But the thought of like your health bar is your cubs.
Yeah, that's like, woof indeed. Yeah,
yeah, boy, I don't know about that, dude. I don't know if I can handle that. Yep.
Well, you need a reason to enjoy crying.
If you need a reason to enjoy crying, Cumsy.
Yeah. Cumsy. Oh, no. So yeah, I was gonna say here. So
info, release date, anything like that?
So I think it is out now. I think it dropped. I think it's at least this year, very recently. I'm not exactly sure on its when it dropped, but I believe it is out now.
Yeah.
The demo is available on Steam.
Demo's available on Steam.
When I Google it, I got the Permian Triassic extinction event.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Well, speaking of extinction events, I've got Activision Blizzard news.
I thought you were going to say you had to poop.
Fuck
No,
you,
man.
Bobby.
I took care of that earlier. Which button is it?
Fuck you, Bobby.
That's the one. Hey, guess what, Bobby?
One.
Blizzard Albany is the next Activision Blizzard studio to seek unionization. So right now, 95% of the Albany Studios QA team is lobbying for unionization. Yes. So the second studio under the umbrella of Activision Blizzard to do so. We talked about quite in depth about Ravensoft going to or unionizing at least their QA department. And here again, we have Activision Blizzard Albany doing the same. So it looks like they're organizing with the Communication Workers of America, seeking better pay, benefits, transparency, and work-life balance. Apparently, there's been disparities in titles and compensation to accurately recognize their contributions. That's not a huge surprise. It's kind of been the theme here as far as Activision Blizzard goes. Good job, guys. Continue to fight the good fight. Continue to make good games and get paid doing it in a safe work environment. Good for you. Also in Activision Blizzard news, Microsoft and Activision Blizzard, their merge might be approved as early as August. So it looks like as far as the timeline is concerned for the merger between Activision and Blizzard, it's been moved up. We weren't expecting to see any real action from the FTC until early 2023, January, February, and first quarter. But it looks like the FTC is already near a green light for the merger. There's been, backroom talks between the FTC, Activision Blizzard, and its representatives. And it seems like the green light is inevitable and may not require trial or any kind of real scrutiny. And it looks like it may just be approved. So it's according to representatives from Activision Blizzard, it may be approved as early as August. Now, take that with a grain of salt. That's something they might be, putting out in press release just to kind of
juice the stats.
Well, no, juice the shareholders.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah. So it might be comfort to shareholders to think that this is going to happen on a quicker timeline than initially speculated. But as this is being issued to the press officially from Activision Blizzard, so it is also very possible that this timeline is accurate, and we might see approval as early as August of this year. So that's, it's one of the biggest acquisitions of all time. It's certainly the biggest acquisition in games industry history. So we have yet to see what's going to come of that. We have yet to see that it is actually going to be approved. But it looks like the timeline on that has moved up pretty significantly, at least by nearly a half a year.
It's gonna. It's of course going to be approved. It's going to make people too much money to not be approved.
Yeah, monopolies, monopolies, duopolies. They fly through. Especially, not only that, but they have the precedent now. Bungie is a much smaller studio than Activision Blizzard. Their valuation is less than a sixth of Activision Blizzard's, but they were just acquired by Sony, and Activision Blizzard now has precedence for as far, like, if you look at the umbrella that Activision Blizzard is, they have a lot more titles under the belt than Bungie does.
Yeah.
But it is Sony acquiring one of the largest game studios, a very recognizable brand, and that does give them a little bit of ammunition against the FTC as far as like allowing this acquisition to take place. So it is looking more and more likely every passing day that it's going to happen, and now we're looking at a much earlier timetable than we were initially. So,
I'm not necessarily disappointed or whatever that it's going to happen, because we might, I don't know, get some formative changes at Blizzard,
possibly
Activision Blizzard, if Microsoft is at the head, but maybe not. Microsoft likes making money, and that's what Bobby Kotick does. He makes money for people. So.
Yeah, all these are big ass evil companies.
So,
there are some that are better than others. Microsoft has seemingly in the past few years proven themselves to be a little bit better as far as work environment is concerned.
Actively trying to be evil in the work environment.
Yeah.
Sure.
But they still are out there to get your money.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Def.
At any cost. So, I'm not really rooting for it. We'll see what happens. At the end of the day, it's going to be a big experiment in the games industry, especially at a time where you're seeing these giants, even Activision Blizzard, who might be the biggest of them all, to fracture into other game studios. You have these heads of game studios like Activision Blizzard going off and creating their own studios as of late, and they're pumping games out.
Burn it down.
Yeah, exactly. Like really, let's start moving from the top of the pile and bring that back down. You can bring back your Metzins and your Ghost Crawlers and get them in smaller studios where they bring a lot of ingenuity, old school hard work, and fucking fresh ideas,
passion for what they're doing.
Yeah, right.
Like that's,
but also money. You get these names in smaller studios, and they will see more funding, right?
Yeah, no, and like that, that's the thing. There's you got to have a balance, because you need some corporatization for the money, right? You need some money to make a fucking stellar product that's always pushing the envelope of the tech.
Yeah,
need a little bit of that, but at a certain point, the corporate it leans too heavy on the scale. And you lose sight. You lose sight of the shit, and it's just like, oh well, we got to get the title out because we got to get the title out, and then you wind up with games that nobody likes.
But if you can get a room, if you can get a room full of very passionate game developers and people that like video games, then you might be able to ship a good product.
Yeah.
Right.
Or you have to trick people with microtransactions for fucking everything in the game or some shit like this. Just make a quality product that people want to buy
and do something new. We've only seen it. All we're seeing in the AAA space is more iteration, right? Assassin's Creed 47
it makes them a shit ton of money.
Of course it does.
They're not going to stop.
No, they're not. But what we are seeing is, fracturing kind of top down from these game studios, and hopefully those guys creating their own smaller studios, we'll start to see some real innovation, because we're not looking at these AAA studios that are afraid of innovation because it may not be a moneymaker, right? So get the people that made these studios as big as they are because they're inventive and creative, put them back in a small studio environment, and hopefully we'll see some really cool games blossoming from that kind of new structure. I hope to continue seeing this kind of loss from AAA game studios and going more indie.
Well, if they're going to follow that Ubisoft method, it shouldn't take long at all.
Yeah.
Now would be a perfect time to segue to Unity.
Sure.
I feel like it would be.
Yeah. If you are familiar with Unity, you might have heard about this. If not, Unity is a game engine, a company that runs and makes the game engine, and it is commonly used by a lot of people. There's a free version, there's a paid version. The paid version isn't that expensive, and Unity is used by. If you've played a game, you've probably played a game where there's a splash screen where it says Unity, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You can do just about any kind of format you can imagine in it. That said, I don't much like drama, but I'm getting out of order here. Unity article I appeared to have closed it. No, there it is. So Unity they're sticking their foot in their own asshole.
Oh,
that's one way to put it. They announced this week they are merging with the mobile ad company IronSource, who is most well known for purposefully developing malware back in 2015.
Cool.
A trick link that installed stuff on your computer. Unity, on top of that, was talking about how they're pushing really, really, really hard to get monetization and games as a service into their pipeline and their methods earlier and earlier in the process, from the ground up, having that in mind. And whether it's completely in context or not, Unity CEO John, Italian last name, Riccitello, I'm going to guess, said that if you're not thinking about monetization during your creative process, you are a fucking idiot. He was quoting Ferrari and the way they do things compared to newer versions doesn't really matter the context. The whole idea is that Unity is trying to make a lot of money, and you make a lot of money through advertising and mobile bullshit and games as a service.
And malware.
And apparently malware. Yeah. And this was a huge blow to a lot of people who use Unity for indie games. We've mentioned Unity games on here at least every other podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So to find out that this company is essentially trying to become the next big thing down in Silicon Valley, I really think they're putting their own nails in their own coffin. They're probably going to make a shit ton of money, but any kind of reputation Unity has is like, you know, the first place to start, because it's not terribly hard to learn Unity as compared to some other game engines. It's not good. It's just, you know, they're begging to be the next AAA thing. And it is sad to see. So,
yeah, up on screen, I've been showing a list of games made in the Unity engine. And
those are just well-known games.
Right, yes,
so
absolutely.
Many little indie games are made in Unity.
Absolutely. And I've been scrolling here pretty patiently for about the last 15, 20 seconds.
Up to 2016.
We're only to 2016 so far. And the list only gets bigger as time goes on. Mm-hmm. So there is an immense amount of Unity games made. Just scrolling through here, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, Hollow Knight,
Cuphead,
Life is Strange,
Escape from Tarkov, Rust, Monument Valley, City Skylines, Hearthstone, Untitled Goose Game, right?
You are playing a Unity game.
Yeah, everyone's played one if you play games. Yeah. So, you know, this isn't the first time a CEO of a company has said something slightly out of context and gotten in shit for it.
Oh, but no, not Battletoads. Shit. No, sorry.
They did a bunch of PR speak. You know, on top of that, back in like June, they laid off roughly 4% of the company. They said they rehired a bunch of them, but then the next month they spent $4.5 billion on this merger.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck you. Just go somewhere else.
Yep.
Go to Mars.
Go to Unreal Engine.
Go live with giant chest Elon Musk.
He's got room in there for you.
Yeah.
As much as it hurts to say, maybe you side with Epic and you just jump into Unreal. Stop using Unity.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking lesser of two evils here.
Yeah. Stop chasing paper. I just want people to make good
quality games. And dude, we want people to get paid for good work. Like, that's definitely not what we're saying here. Like, shit. Yeah. If good games make you rich, then awesome. But if all you're doing is chasing the dollar and not out to use that dollar to make groundbreaking new games. That's what they used to do. That's back in my day. They used to make good games because they could, right? Because that's what made money. But you know, you also have to blame I can't say we necessarily, but the game buying industry as a whole, the game purchasers, we're definitely not helping by reinforcing purchases.
I just hope the gap continues to widen. I hope the AAAs, they keep making more and more money. They push into ads, they push into games of service, and it gets worse and worse and worse until the general public starts to understand that they're playing bullshit, right? Because right now there's enough of a veneer there and a lack of knowledge that they're like, oh yeah, I mean, it's just something I do in my spare time. It's not like I'm really that dedicated, but you're giving them your money.
Yes.
Right. And they're going to keep doing that, right? But as farther they split away from actual game developers who are making stuff that they want to be making that may or may not actually be a really good content that can be played for years and have a large community, like just have your way, AAA, go over there, make all of them ad revenue you fucking want. Just stop pretending that you're with us as like people who care about games.
Gamers rise up, you know.
Okay.
So let's talk about a AAA game.
On that note, I want to talk about a AAA remastered IP.
Josh still here cringing.
I've been feeling it hard for a minute, but that's not just my Josh tingle going off. Dude, fucking SpiderMan is finally coming to PC. So with this remaster here, I mean, it's also coming to your PS5 and whatnot, but it's coming to PC, and that matters to me because that means I get to play it. So along with this remaster, there are a few cool new little features here. If for those of you watching, you're seeing already a ultra wide display. So if you have 3 monitors all three of them can do the thing here, or if you just have that one really
do the thing?
They can do the thing.
The ultra wide monitor, you can do the thing. It's got high resolution textures, ray traced reflections. Man, you can do stuff you can't even do on console on the PC version.
It's got NVIDIA Bliss and Law.
It sure does. Deliss and Delaw or Delicious.
All right, so and if you're wondering if your PC can even handle all of this,
Probably not.
All of this, it probably can't. But here are some of the specs. So you need that 64-bit processor and operating system. Intel Core i3 4160. Oh my God, it's just a lot of numbers. Or an AMD equivalent. 8 gigs of RAM. You need a GTX 950 or Radeon RX 470 or higher to play.
Now, that's the minimum requirement.
That's the minimum requirement.
That is required for 720p 30 frames per second.
That's the little boy version right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just going to make me cry to read out the big boy version.
You need a 640-bit processor. You need a Radeon 9 million.
Yes.
Those are yep.
You need 80 pounds of RAM.
We're measuring it in pounds now.
You need Internet Explorer 18.0.
So in order to get let's
fucking Markov chain graph over there.
Oh yeah, dude.
Specs.
Let's look at ultimate ray tracing to get 4K 60 FPS at high settings.
Okay.
You need an NVIDIA GT or an RTX 3080 or a Radeon RX 6950 XT.
What?
That's a lot of letters. That
yes.
means it's good.
Yeah, it's real good.
Combine that with a Core i7 12700K or a Ryzen 9 5900X. You know that brand new processor that I put in my computer?
Yeah.
The 5800X?
Yeah.
Not good enough here. Okay. So you gotta get a $700 processor in order to run this shit. 32 gigs of RAM is recommended to run the ultimate ray tracing version. It's all those hella big textures. And for everybody, you're gonna need at least a 75 gigabyte SSD. So the only one where they can say that a hard drive for storage is going to be okay is 720p at 30 frames per second. If you are running anything but an SSD,
your own drive.
F. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Good Lord.
Now, there's some bells and whistles along with, besides the ultra wide screen and all that good stuff, there is some in-games bells and whistles if you pre-purchase, which I'm not going to. But if you want to, you are going to get some included bonus content, 3 SpiderMan suits for players to customize their hero, including the Iron Spider suit, the Velocity suit, and the Spider Punk suit. You will also get the Spider Drone gadget to help you out even earlier, right from the start of the game, and you will start with 5 skill points to boost your Spider-Man right from the very beginning rather than having to hunt those down.
I love you very much. I'm going to put my hand on yours. Do not take this personally. My best friend. Don't fucking pre-order games.
I'm not going to.
It's not recommended. It's very good news. Okay, as long as you prefaced it.
I am not pre-ordering.
Yes.
But if you so choose, those are some of the things you get.
How dare you? Don't choose.
Choose not.
Choose not.
Play Cumsy games.
Play Cumsy
if you're going to do anything, do some Cumsy.
I earned the Iron Spider suit the way way Tony Stark intended you to.
Don't pay it with a $5 bill. All right. What is next?
We've got John Romero getting back into making FPS.
Didn't he make that zombie movie, that old zombie movie?
What?
Night of the Living Dead?
No, you're thinking of
the other guy,
Roman, inventor of Rome.
No, he's thinking of somebody that's got a very similar name that I get confused too. But I can't remember his name right now.
John Leguizamo.
John Romero is working on a new FPS. John Romero Games, his studio, is currently hiring developers for a new FPS. The information from his tweet goes on to explain that the team is working with a major publisher on the game, which is an all-new FPS with an original new IP. So we're not looking at a new Doom. We're not looking at a new Quake, which John Romero is famed for being a large part of, one half of the duo.
And the zombie movie.
No. I'm going to shit in your mouth.
That's Jorge Romero.
Listen, it's
Jorge Romero.
George
Romero.
George Romero.
I've been saying it.
Oh, I didn't hear you say it.
Romero.
Oh, thank you. You're as bad as he is.
That's the whole point.
Go play some zombie games. John Romero making a new FPS. It's kind of non-news, but it's cool because he did Doom and Quake, and those games are cool.
Co-founder id.
Now the real question is in that new game, are you going to be able to play Doom in it?
Probably.
Listen.
There's got to be an Easter egg. You probably kill zombies. It's going to piss off Handy. Romero has got a history. You either know about him or you don't. He's done some good things. He recently, when Ukraine war started, he added new levels to Doom, and all the purchases went towards supporting Ukraine.
That's pretty cool.
To counteract that, the ad for lead level designer for this new game lists running the live phase of a game as a service.
Yeah.
So here's a cupcake. I only peated on it a little bit. So temper.
You know it's going to be EA. You know it's going to be NFTs. So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of NFTs, there's a lot of NFT news, and I'm not going to talk about 90% of it because I'm not giving them any airtime other than real quick. Minecraft said no NFTs.
Good for them.
They pretty much said, we don't want any NFTs in Minecraft. Fuck off. And I was happy to hear that, and I will talk about that. So that's it.
That's
Okay.
it.
It was topical.
Cool.
It was topical. I mean, it felt topical.
No FTs. NFT.
Josh, you got a thing.
I might have a thing. I do have a thing.
I know you have a thing. I've got it up on my screen.
What is it?
I have a thing. I just need to find it on my phone. Now, podcast. Now,
If you're still with us.
If you're still with us, you are. I know you are because you love me. Do you guys like flavor combinations? Chocolate, peanut butter?
Depends on the flavor.
Doesn't that sound great?
Dude, Josh, I have to stop you here. I know where you're going with this, but you're okay. Right now, what you're doing is
It's too much of a lead-in.
It's too much. Well, not only is it too much of a lead-in, what you're doing is the same thing they did to announce World of Warcraft Vanilla, and that leaves a bad taste in everybody's mouth. You think you do, but you don't. So
Unlike chocolate and peanut butter.
what's going on here?
So what's going on here is you're going to be able to Discord on your fucking Xbox. Xbox and Xbox Discord voice chat. It's coming. So you're going to be able to just do a little QR code scan. So this is for Xbox insiders. They're already using this today. So that's cool news. We're going to, of course, find out more how it seems like it's going to be easy and seamless to work. You're going to be able to seamlessly go back and forth between your Xbox chat and your Discord chat. And we can probably expect this update for the rest of everybody who has Xboxes in the next few weeks, depending on how all of this goes. But, honestly, 2 years ago, Josh is really, really excited about this.
Yeah.
But it's also going to be good for one of our homies who's still playing Apex on a console to get in on this fucking Discord, so I don't have to
There you go.
hear the entirety of his house in his chat while we're trying to play Apex.
Listen, it's just good.
It's just good. It's
Discord
good.
integration into consoles is just a good thing.
It's a good thing. Absolutely.
With the PC to console integrations that we're seeing in different games, cross-platform gameplay being bigger than ever and an ever-growing thing, Sony getting into the PC gaming market, Xbox already in the PC gaming market, just unifying the experience as far as getting a party together and being able to chat is going to be a good thing. So the fact that we're looking at not just Discord app in Xbox, but actual integration of Discord into Xbox is a good thing. Sony
absolutely is. Follow their lead.
Follow the lead. Hey, Nintendo.
Wake the fuck up.
Use the internet sometime.
Yeah.
Nintendo's we have a new chip in the Nintendo Switch 2 that reads your thoughts and shakes when you're horny.
Well, I'm buying that.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a Nintendo product. We came up with a tech you didn't know existed and you didn't know you needed.
It's true. They're gonna make Internet 2. Yeah, that's what they've been working on. That's why they're so bad at Internet 1.
Oh man. Yeah, so that is really cool because VoIP on consoles has been garbage since it started. It's being able to have voice on consoles is going to be nice. Hopefully, Discord's prepared for that.
Yeah,
that's a lot of.
I think they are
users.
I mean, they're
out of the blue.
It's Microsoft and Discord are working together to make it happen. So this is something that they've been working on.
They've spent a lot of money.
I'm sure.
Both companies.
There was already rumor that Xbox. I mean, we talked about this like last year, but there was rumor that Microsoft was looking at acquiring Discord at some point.
But I mean, there's quite a few. I don't know the number off the top of my head how many Xbox insiders there are, but I feel like that's what the rollout's for, is to see how smoothly it runs with this number of people doing the thing.
Being an Xbox insider is free, and it's literally just like reading a EULA, hitting accept in your Xbox.
Oh, okay, there you go. I mean,
yeah, it's you can become an Xbox insider at any time. There's prompts on your Xbox. You can do it from your Microsoft Live account, and yeah, it's a trivial thing to become.
Okay, so
yeah,
right.
You get pushed updates a little bit earlier than everybody else, and that's it.
So yeah,
you're a beta tester.
But I feel like that's the rollout for it, right? Whoever's on the thing, whoever's on this insider thing or whatever.
It's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. So if it's rolling smoothly, then in the next couple of weeks, the update's just going to come out, and it's just going to, like, pretty soon it'll be like it always was. Like it was always there, finally.
Yeah.
Same as it ever was.
Mm-hmm.
You got something, Andy?
Did you guys play a game?
I played mini games.
Came out from a company called like Bungie.
I've never played a game.
Bungle.
Oh.
Bungie.
John Romero.
Halo 2.
Oh.
I want to talk about Halo 2 for just a minute.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
So, you guys know Moist Critical?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Penguins Zero.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
We did it, baby.
Charlie.
Great
guy. Everybody loves him. Everybody's down for Critical, Moist Critical. Some people know him as Penguin Zero. Man, that guy just has a really hard time picking usernames on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. But everybody knows who we're talking about. He has placed a $20,000 bounty for the first person that can beat Halo 2 with 0 deaths doing Lasso. For those of you that don't know, Lasso is legendary, all skulls on. So the skulls that make everybody invisible, the skulls that, double their health, just make the game ultimately harder. You turn off all the helpful ones, like being able to use the cloak at any time and, grunts.
And grunt birthday, of course.
Yes, that's what I said first, is 0 deaths. Yeah. So, yeah, you have to do it with 0 deaths. And if you can, $20.
$20,000.
$20.
Fucking Starbucks gift card. Woo!
Pizza party.
Permanent PTSD.
Yes.
If you give me $20.
Guys, don't do it. Don't do it. So I have lassoed, not completely. I did omit one level. It happens to be the second level in Halo 2.
Fucking snipers.
100%. So it's Zanzibar. Don't do that level on lasso. It's impossible. You can't do it.
I think you can.
Stop trying. No.
You can do it.
You definfinly can't do it. 0
20,000 reasons why you can do it.
The guy just beat Elden Ring with his butt cheeks the other day. I'm sure they can do this. Whatever it was. I don't know. They do something ridiculous with Elden Ring every other day. So.
Nobody's done it. And people have been trying since Halo 2 came out. Now there's more inspiration. But I'm just going to let you know that there's people that have been trying to do this, including guys from Achievement Hunter, since the achievement came out, which was at Halo 2's launch. There have been people that have dedicated their lives to doing this, and if they haven't done it yet, then I don't know, man.
Maybe 20K isn't enough money, dude.
20K is not enough money. It's not enough money to cover the therapy that you're going to need after doing a 0 death lasso. You're going to be 64 by the time you accomplish it. You've gone through your 30th Xbox. By then, they're a retro console, and they're worth several $1,000s.
Yes, turn in for that.
Yeah, by the time like you're in your third year, you've already spent more than $20,000 worth on therapy and like
controllers
and replacing the innards of your wrists.
It'd be like
the carpal tunnel it gives
at a
you.
fast food restaurant, except there's always 19 rabid badgers in the kitchen. And if you're in the walk-in fridge for too long, a clown comes out of a box and stabs you. And you have to do that for a
Except
year.
for he's invisible.
Yeah.
And he's got 10 knives.
All you hear
I
is
don't like any of that.
Well, listen, that's lasso.
Okay.
Everything's invisible. Everything is one shot, one kill. Okay, so let me just put it this way. If you beat the game on Legendary, you're already familiar with pre-throwing grenades. That's mandatory for playing Lasso. And the reason is because a flood gets too close to you. You know, little mini flood infectors? Yeah, it gets too close to you. You die. It flares your shields. The normal thing is like it pops up against your shield and you're like, that tickles. That kills you in Lasso. Also, they're invisible. So pre-throwing grenades before you enter a room is mandatory, just to make sure that a random plasma bolt doesn't accidentally hit a grenade and kill you, to make sure that you kill all of the potential flood in the room, to make sure that you flare everybody's cloaks.
I'm bored just hearing you explain it, dude.
Listen, don't do it.
I'm not going to.
Save your sanity, people. $20,000 isn't worth it. Charlie, it needs to be $20 million on lasso.
I mean, a handy.
Is that how much you pay for hand jobs?
If it's a good.
You play
one.
20.
Bro,
No.
you're going to the wrong place for
Whose
HJs.
hand?
Jennifer
Whose hand?
Lawrence's.
That's not working.
Who's your HJ guy? I'll hook you up with mine.
You don't know Jimothy down the block?
Don't give him form.
Nick, cleanse our palates.
Palate cleanse.
Give us that.
Whoa,
Josh almost broke the
Josh
podcast.
I'm convinced he ate some catnip.
Yeah,
we
me
already
too.
know he's a bit of an indoor cat, and he's been fucking weird all night,
He couldn't buy Stray, so he's playing Stray IRL.
knocking shit over, including himself. Into the Breach was a fantastic game, is a fantastic game, and if you haven't played it, do yourself a favor. This is a little turn-based. Let me rephrase. This is the only fun puzzle game. That is a strong opinion of me, not an opinion of the podcast, and a lot of people are going to disagree with me. But this is kaiju versus giant robots. You control the robots. The whole idea is Earth has died, and you go back in time to try to stop these giant bugs from destroying cities. And it birthed the whole genre. It was in the first wave of like roguelite remakes that came out, 10, 15 years ago now. Yeah. Two cool things have happened. One, I bring it up because I noticed recently it was on the Google Play Store and it was free. And I was like, holy crap. Okay, I'll pick this up. And then I realized it's free on the Google Play Store because Netflix recently picked it up and they added it to their Netflix game catalog. So if you haven't already given up on Netflix and you still have a subscription, you can just go to the Google Play Store, and I'm assuming maybe the iPhone Play Store, whatever the equivalent is. It's probably not free on there because fuck iPhone users. But yeah, you can play. You just have to choose which Netflix account you want to play. And on top of that, it's already a good game worth playing, but there's a massive update that I am looking very forward to playing through again. That has 5 new full mech squads on top of the 10 or 12, 15 there already were, 40 new weapons, new enemies, new bosses, new mission objectives, new abilities, ability to you can break the ground and make holes now to throw enemies in. They've pretty much added content to every little single section of the game. It's probably a whole DLC's worth of free content, which we used to call an expansion pack.
Yeah.
But it's free. And if you do not want to play it on your phone or you don't have Netflix, it's only $10 on Steam. 13,000 positive reviews. I don't know what else.
There's also a physical release coming later. So
yeah,
if you
the Switch, I believe you can play it on the Switch, which would
cool.
be an excellent Switch game. And yeah, it just kind of defined a new subgenre. Your goal is to protect the cities. The developer, there was a lot of kaiju Pacific Rim movies coming out, and he was noticing that or superheroes, how they always destroy the towns and Marvel and whatnot. And he said he wanted to make a game where your job was to protect the towns, right? So you have to be willing to sacrifice your own robots sometimes. And the main shtick was that your enemies telegraph their moves, and then on your turn, your job is to try to move, kill, or otherwise incapacitate the bugs so that turn they don't actually hit the buildings. And you can combo chain things together, knocking bugs into bugs and destroying dams to flood the area to drown the bugs. It's really, really fun. And after you play this for the first time with your first squad, you're like, wow, it's a fun game. And then you find out there's 15 other squads you can play with, all with different abilities. It's got some roguelike elements in it. I highly recommend it. And because it's free if you have Netflix and only $10 on Steam, I mean, kind of don't have a reason not to play it if you haven't played it already. So
absolutely.
Definitely give it a shot.
that's how you re-release a game right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Hey, here's a bunch of free stuff and a bunch of places you can get it. Yeah.
Rockstar, take note. No, I'm just.
I think they'd have a hernia.
Yeah, no, they would.
I don't know where game companies keep their sphincters, but
little. It's not really news, but I thought it was funny. I'll just bring it up since I yelled Rockstar into the microphone. People were having RDO funerals. Like they were showing up to players in Red Dead Online were showing up to the graveyard.
Red Dead Online.
Red Dead Online.
Oh, I thought you meant the dude from Shadow of the Colossus.
Nope. Auto, RDO. So Red Dead Online.
Gotcha.
There's not going to be any more updates or anything like that. So of course, players being fun and having a little fun with it, they went to the graveyard and made a gravestone that said Red Dead Online, and people laid flowers and sang songs and.
It just baffles me how much they shit the bed. Like,
you
know how long everyone's been clamoring for an awesome Western online game?
Yep.
Ever.
Still are.
All time since before Rome fell. Because there really hasn't ever been one that immediately comes to people's minds, right? They had the perfect opportunity. But no, they got so much money from GTA 5 with the fucking card shark bullshit.
Rockstar just couldn't find a way to integrate transactions, right? So they listen. What are you going to get? You're going to get a new Palomino horse with your doubloons and fucking RDO? No, it's just a lot easier to monetize GTA. So they put all their focus on GTA, and that's where they made their money.
Ton of money.
Yeah,
they're not going to waste money on something when they already have a cash cow.
Yeah,
I thought it was funny.
Rockstar. Yeah.
Shit.
All right. Well, I guess we'll have to wait until the next Sunset Showdown or Sunset Riders.
Yes,
I got Samurai Showdown and Sunset Riders mixed up.
Dude, Sunset Riders,
an amazing crossover. Yeah,
let's talk about that later.
Yeah.
Nick, I think you're the only one with anything left. Let's talk about.
Oh yeah. Welcome to the arena of champions.
The cream rises to the top.
Real quick. I don't have strong opinions on this yet. I've seen Northernlion and a few people play it, but there is a new wrestling / luchador-esque cartoony battle royale coming out August something or other, 11th, 21st, something like that, a couple weeks from now. But yeah, it's a battle royale with this kind of cartoony feel where you play as wrestlers, and the items and whatnot you pick up in the match are new moves, and you have all these over-the-top, ridiculous abilities. And having seen some gameplay of it, this trailer only shows mostly cinematics. It looks solid, it's a new kind of shtick for the battle royale where you don't really technically have ranged attacks. So yeah, it looks neat. Again, free to play. If this is anything up your alley, if you want to stick to that kayfabe, right? No harm trying it.
Oh, it's nice to see Gina Carano getting a gig again.
Oh my god! No, it's not. Dude, she has her own show on the Daily Wire now. Yeah, she's on Daily Wire Plus, so yeah, whatever. Fuck off.
If you want to hear us talk about her, stick around for the next podcast.
Yeah, dudes. So that's going to call it for Video Game Tango this week, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We are going to be...
games.
Don't pre-order games.
Games.
Remember, everybody else, stick around. We're going to be doing Balcony Time Podcast next. If you'd like to watch or listen to Balcony Time Podcast later, check it out Monday on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Again, thank you guys so much for listening and watching. We'll see you next week.
Same Tango time, same Tango place.
You gave me no room to vamp.
Were you vamping?
Excited. Well, I was going to say goodbye, but I couldn't.
No, that's how
Josh had been waiting for 45 seconds to say his catchphrase.
See, now, I mean...
It's so ready.
If you can give me a noise floor right now, this is the end.
No, it's totally fine. I don't care at all whether I say goodbye or not. And I'm going to keep talking so you don't get a noise floor just to make sure that.
And the moment he stops, I will take it up as well.
Yeah.
Because I want my catchphrase to be the end.
Time. Same Tango place.
Yes.
Same Tango place. It took me a minute.
Oh, shit.
That's good.